stories about some of the people who were a part of your group and how they went on to do other things.
Yeah.
Can you tell us some of those other things they've done?
The thing with me, I felt that if we turned out musicians, I would be a failure. The idea is to use the art to turn out future politicians, people who do other things. So all of our kids actually go into other areas because I'm not training them to be musicians. I'm just training them to work together as a team, set high goals for themselves, attain those goals, so that when they go off into what they want, how does the music help to bring who you are? That's the idea. So most of my kids go into other walks of life. They don't have many musicians to come out of it.
Oh, that's wonderful. What I want to do now is just take a break, and then I want to come back and just share your story about growing up, and because most people think you grew up, maybe you did have $1 million. I don't know, but I want us to share that story when we come right back.
All right.
In 1990, in Severn, Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Tony Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
In 1990, in Severn, Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Tony Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference. In 1990, in Severn, Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Tony Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
In 1990, in Severn, Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Okay, we're talking about feeding dreams, and I want to talk about, you may not get recognized by a national company for what you do in Memphis or around the world, but I do want you to know what you do is very, very important, and somebody is definitely depending on you to do what you feel like you're supposed to do, because that's how connected we are. So just a little plug, I feel like saying, please follow your dreams. No matter how big it seems or you feel like you can't do it, make sure you follow your dreams, because you may or may not be the next feeding the dream recipient. Sure. But anyway, I want him to share his story. I've heard some of it about him growing up and how that happened, and then how he transitioned to become the Donald O'Connor you see today.
Simple. Community, community, community. Family, family, family. That's it. You know, I'm from Binghamton originally. My people we did not have much of anything. No car, we rode the bus. A lot of things we had to do to struggle to make it. My mom and dad to provide for us. We moved to Douglas, and at Douglas I got into music. Could have been very much into the gang culture that existed in Binghamton at that time. But again, some teachers saw my vocal talent and said, you know, rather than you losing him to gangs, let's get him into music, because I had a voice. And I had a leadership talent, a skill, and I was a visionary kind of person. And so they put that together for me and just got me into the right things so that I wouldn't be lost. And so all my credit goes to my school, my community, and my parents.
And your parents.
And then from that on, of course, education is the thing.
Yeah.
So one undergrad degree, a master's degree from Vanderbilt, and then go on to do other things. But I always go back to Binghamton because that's where it all began. But it all could have been lost there too. So I'm very much committed to helping kids and creating an environment that supports them. Even if it's not at home, they know that in Watoto, they're going to get the support they need to reach their dreams. So it's not so much as what I want to do, but what do you want to do? And I'm always trying to tell them, what do you want to do?
Okay, but growing up in Binghamton and then moving on, did you ever think, or did you have dreams of becoming somebody who would tour the world basically as an entertainer?
No, I never thought about that. I just, like kids, I wanted to sing because it was fun. And like most kids, and this is important that you ask that question, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Which means I would have been susceptible to be pulled into anything else. I was raised around a lot of gang environment, a lot of, you know, the hood, you see what I'm saying? And so those things are attractive to you. Unless your parents take you out to introduce you to other things, that's all you know. So these guys who are very negative become your heroes, because that's all you see. All the shiny cars and the flashy jewelry. And so that's your aspiration. But my mother did everything she could to get me out of the neighborhood and get me involved with other things, like scouting and all that kind of stuff. And so getting involved in that just took my mind away from that. So it's important, the environment that we have the kids around. And of course church, you know, you can't.
Definitely church. And I really wanted to make sure you shared that, and I didn't even ask if it was okay to do it, because I know a lot of people watch the show and they say, well, I don't have anything, I live here, and I just don't know what to do. My son's looking at, you know, the Hummers coming through with the rims and the 22s or the 42s or whatever it's called, and they want that because they don't see enough of us, you know, saying this is where we started, but now, and we did it the right way. We went to school and we went, you know, I had our parents, we obeyed them. You know, they knew where we were. Now, it's hard, you know, to raise children. First of all, it is very difficult because it takes a lot of time. But when you do that, I find you have better chances of your children understanding, I shouldn't want to be in the streets.
Well, the thing that to me, I tell parents all the time, don't forget you were young once. You know, you might be a deaconess now, but you once wore a miniskirt. And, you know, and you got to remember that you were young once.
Yeah.
Everything that these young people are feeling, you felt it once, unless you're out of your mind. You know, and so you can't just jump on them for the things that they're feeling. You just got to connect with them where they are and remember that you were there once. You know, and so, okay, now how did I make it through this? You know, and how can I help navigate them through this very sensitive period? Because most of them, it's our middle school kids that are having a very difficult time, because that's a difficult time anyway.
It is.
And
I
if you
agree.
had everything going for you, when you get to that age, it's a crazy age. And somebody's got to be there with you, and that's what we try to do. We try to be there to like feed those dreams that they have. And that's what I like about Feeding Dreams, is feed those ideas in a positive way.
Right.
You know, the kids want discipline. They may not act like they do, but they really want.
I agree with that statement. I think they desire and they thirst for boundaries, and when they don't have them, they don't know what to do. So I agree with you. They want boundaries, they want discipline. They may not ask for it, and they certainly don't, but if you just look at them and you look at children who have those disciplines in place, those children tend to do better than those who don't have them.
My philosophy, I say all the time, children have not changed.
Yeah.
But parenting has changed.
Parenting,
changed.
yes, it has changed.
The bars are too low.
Yeah.
The standards are too low. We're just getting back from day to day, and the kids are being lost because parenting has changed. And then us as a community, our dynamic has changed.
I want us to get back, you know, people say the olden days or whatever, but I want to get back to the better days when parents were parents and children were children, and children knew without a shadow of a doubt that they were loved and cared for. Now, they had strict parents, but they had to follow a rule, but they knew when they went home there was somebody there who loved them. And I know there are a lot of different dynamics of parents and how households look now, but the thing is, we need to pay more attention to them.
Yes.
We definitely need to pay more attention to them. Well, I'm just going to let you go because I know you got something else to do, because I have tons of questions to ask, and I just love people who are living their dream by helping other people live their dream, and that's what you do every day, Mr. O'Connor. So I thank you for that, and I thank you all so much for watching the Loretta McNary Show. Always think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
You never know what to expect.
Yeah.
I do this all the time.
Wow.
In 1990, in Severn, Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.